name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2003 to 2007, with one combat deployment to Haditha, Iraq in 2006. Throughout my time overseas, I experienced a lot of situations that you wouldn't necessarily find yourself in the United States. IEDs, getting shot at, rocket attacks, mortar attacks, you name it, it happened. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2007, I tried to adjust back to civilian life, and the whole time you're in, you just can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you start to realize, did you make the right decision? 9 times out of 10, most of the guys that get out, they immediately plummet into a depression cycle because you don't have that structure anymore that the military provides you. And this hit me super hard. We moved to one of the #1 top dive destinations in the entire world, and I figured I'd start getting back into scuba diving. And after our first couple dives, I realized how peaceful it was underwater and how none of my problems followed me. You're just there in the present moment. I had the idea for Warfighter Scuba, and I kind of hinted at it, and they said, "You go for it." And that's basically how Warfighter Scuba was born. So Warfighter Scuba is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with the IRS. We bring combat wounded veterans down to the Caribbean to teach them scuba diving to treat their wounds. Whether their wounds are physical or mental, such as PTSD, scuba diving is a extremely therapeutic activity for mental stressors and for physical ailments. Mentally, as soon as you go underwater, your body just reacts. It's not normal. You're not meant to breathe underwater. Automatically puts you into the present moment. You have nothing but peace and calm. This ability to separate yourself from reality really allows veterans to find out what their trigger mechanism might be for their particular mental stressors. So every veteran who comes through our programs gets a 100% funded trip. Each veteran also receives a round-trip ticket from their home of record. That ticket will bring them straight into Roatan, and their entire week stay, their hotel, their meals, their snacks, everything's paid for. So that veteran can get an entire week away from reality and completely separate from any kind of problems they might be facing at home. So each veteran receives very private and intimate training sessions when they come down to Roatan. We first start in the pool. We do some confined water skills. We'll then switch out to the open water dives. From that point on, it's not even training anymore. It's just fun. It's learning on a level that I don't think most people have experienced before. We do all the certifications for them that we can in a week at their pace, from open water to full face mask to nitrox. Every trip that we have, whether it's one veteran or 4 veterans at a time, we just have a blast. There's no bad karma. We've seen sharks, we've seen turtles. We've seen 4 eagle rays at once. Just the things that happen when we're in the water together are truly, they're just unbelievable. The dedication that these vets have now to scuba diving and to wanting to come back and to help other veterans experience what they've experienced. It hits me in the heart more than most things have ever hit me in my heart. It's truly an honor to take these heroes into the water. It's really cool to see the transformation that happens to them, from being, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I've gone snorkeling a few times, or I'm not that good of a swimmer. And the funny thing about scuba is none of that matters. You're completely weightless in the water. You could come down and have 0 experience in the water and be one of the better scuba divers out there. So as with all nonprofits, we rely solely on generous donors such as yourselves. None of these programs could exist without people who are willing to give some of their hard-earned money up to save veterans who might be struggling with everyday life and have that unfortunate thought of suicide. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes directly to the veterans. I personally, myself, I do not take any kind of money. All my time is donated. There's no salary to anybody who's on the board or any staff positions in Warfighter. Donations can be made on our website at www.warfighterscuba.org. And remember, every donation is 100% tax deductible.
One, two, three. I love it, Molly.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
Our love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home. I'm making my way.
One, two, three. I love it, Molly.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
You know, Mission 22 has become
22.
a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. You know, we brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
You know, on this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it.
Welcome back to the stream. It is Friday night. This is a special night, the first ever Dirt Track Bank Dash for Cash, only open to summer season feature winners that participated in at least 6 races throughout the season. So you are seeing all feature winners on the track. $525 up for grabs tonight. That's all thanks to the Dirt Track Bank. Everyone who enters will get a payout tonight. So welcome aboard. We do have, if you like what we have going on tonight in the Dirt Track Bank Dash for Cash, we have an exciting announcement which we will post right now. This is the first time this has been. In the meantime, Clay, we are joined in the booth tonight by the driver of the 51 machine, Mr. Clay Christopherson. Clay, welcome to the show. You've ran with these cats all season long, man. I'm looking forward to some insight from you. Welcome to the show, and it's going to be a great night, my brother.
Oh yeah, it's going to be. This is a fast track. This track usually ends up about 2 to 3 good grooves. When that bottom comes in, this track gets very fun to watch. Yeah, these guys, I've ran with these guys for a couple years now, and I know some of their tricks, and I know how some of them drive, so I think it should be a really interesting race, about the last 10 laps of each of these features.
Again, if you're out there, you're on our Discord, you can track the points as we go. The payout will be determined by average finish, and we do exclude incident points. So super excited to get underway. We'll call the drivers off the track here right now. All drivers clear the track, please. All drivers clear the track. Clay, we're about to get this show underway, man. I've been waiting all day.
Yeah, I've been seeing your posts. You're a happy camper, like you're going to Disneyland today.
All right, drivers, welcome to the first ever Dirt Track Bank Dash for Cash. Again, I put out there today on our Discord page. Man, if you have an opportunity to stop by Malvern, Iowa, and let these folks know you appreciate everything that they have done for us, that would be greatly appreciated. You can also email them We also, those of you that were out on the track practicing, just released the information on the Dirt Track Bank World Finals coming up starting the 21st of October. It's going to be a 7-night event, guaranteed $1,500 payout, and that is Dirt Track Bank showing, man, they are super amazing. So we'll go over quick rules. You guys know the rules for now. I'm sure we won't have any problems with interviews or photos. We're still 2 cautions and you're done in the division that you're currently racing. No intentional contact while riding will not be acceptable. Callouts on Discord not allowed. Excessive blinking. You guys know the drill behind that. Driver's fee. Those of you out there tuned in to the event and in the event, that is due no later than tomorrow night at midnight. Monday morning, I start removing drivers from Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights. The points will be updated as we go along throughout the night. You can go into our Discord and look at the points folder, and we will update that as we go along. And as we just announced to those out there on the broadcast watching, incident points do count. So keep that in mind. Fellas, I can't think of a better way to cap off our second full season than a Dash for Cash brought to you by our new sponsor that came on board, man. I could not be more excited. Any questions, comments, or concerns before we advance to qualifying? None heard. Welcome to the show. Put on a great show. Good luck. So there you have it, Clay. What do you think, man?
I'm looking forward to this. It's essentially the all-star race, so I feel like we're gonna get some really good racing. I feel like top 5 or so, we're gonna be able to put them right under the blanket pretty much the whole race.
Who is your pick?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna have to go with Grant.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here. And it's not a very thin limb, but I'm going to go with... Man, this is a tough pick. I'm going to go with Michael Carter. Michael Carter is going to take it in the end. Currently out on the track, Brandon Templeton in the 31 Dirt Track Bank Machine. He's getting his qualifying lap in. Currently at the top of the board with a 16.315, Chris Cox, the 358 modified champion. Third quick for Chris Cox. Jesse Ingram is with us in the 7 machine. Jesse coming for his first timed lap. Let's see where Jesse plays out. Fourth quick for Jesse. Grant Wesley in the 088 at the top of the board. That will move everybody down with a 16.264. Brendan Weeks is with us in the 120 ride. Currently second quick with a 16.289. So the 12 car showing strong tonight. My pick to win the 358s. The 015 of Michael Carter out on track. Top of the board, 16.218 for the CTM driver in the 015. Jeff Kemper out on the track in the 181 machine. 6 quick for Jeff. We got a few cars left to go. Waiting for Jordan LaFawn to come out on the track. So currently Carter, Wesley, Weeks, Templeton, Cox are your top 5. Were you expecting anything different, Chris?
Man, those are some close times.
Out on the track, your last driver, the 011 of Jordan LaFawn. He will close out our qualifying effort. Let's see if Jordan can move Michael Carter off of your quick time. Coming down for his first time lap, coming out of turn 4, the 011 heading for the flag stand. Third quick on his first lap with a 16.277 for Jordan LaFawn, driver out of Indiana. See if he can improve on his second lap. Again, these are your top 10. You had to be a feature winner and had to participate in at least 6 weeks of the season. Looks like we wrapped it up. Michael Carter at the top of the board with a 16-2-1-8. We're getting ready to go heat racing here momentarily. Michael Carter on the front row. Heat 1 to the grid. Heat 1 to the grid, please. Michael Carter, Jordan LaFawn on the front row. Brandon Templeton, Jeffrey Kemper in row 2. Donald Ingram, Will McNeil, who should not be in the race. I thought I removed him. I'll have to make sure I do that. All right, drivers, welcome to heat number 1. You guys know the drill. We're going to be running 8 laps. Everyone heading to the feature. Initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. 8 laps to get it done. You are racing for your start in the feature. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. Jordan LaFawn and Michael Carter on that front row, Clay.
Yeah, this one's going to be an interesting one to watch. They don't have to go through any traffic. I think it's just going to be them and Templeton in there as well. So it's going to be pretty good 8 laps here.
Yeah, you got my teammate, the Dirt Track Bank car, rolling off in P3. We'll see if Brandon Templeton can make something happen on the inside of row number 2 with Jeffrey Kemper on the outside. Looks like we will go green this time by. Pace truck should exit the track. Forgot to tell the drivers how to line up. We will do that next time. These are the best of the best from the summer season. Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights coming to the flag stand. Green flag is out. We are underway. Carter and LaFawn side by side at the line. Great restart. Looks like Carter is going to pull out in front of Jordan LaFawn.
Oh, that's a strong drive LaFawn's got.
LaFawn up on the outside. Carter, will he slide up and get out there? LaFawn leaves no room on that outside, Clay.
I'm going to cut down real quick. Going to try taking that bottom from him, I think.
The 011 dives down low. Do we see a slide job coming? Yes, we do. Crossover. In return, we will go on board with the 3rd place driver, Brandon Templeton, as he has a front row seat to this battle up front. LaFawn with a great run off the exit of turn 2. The 015 with a good drive off the bottom. Those two are side by side.
I think Templeton's just waiting for one of them to make contact or mess up because there's not much room to get in the middle of that.
Looks like Carter, we're on the front suspension of the 015. Slide job coming, you saw it live. Michael Carter back to the point, working lap 5 of 8. Brandon Templeton, as you said, Clay, he's kind of riding around there. He's not letting them get too far from him. About made contact with the 011.
Yeah, he's running about a line above of everyone else. I think he's really trying to get that high side to work, trying to get a drive off so he can pass them without having to go in between them or underneath them.
Good run off the top side by Jordan LaFawn. They are side by side. We are going to have a great finish. Templeton currently riding in the 3rd position. At the line, they are nose to nose with 1 lap to go. It is a 3-horse race between Carter, LaFawn, and Templeton, it looks. LaFawn dives down low. Will he slide up? No room. Up high at the line. It's going to be Carter, LaFawn, and Templeton. What a great way to start the night. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is heat number 1 in the books. Heat 2 to the grid. Heat 2 to the grid, please. Grant Wesley, Brennan Weeks on the front row of heat number 2. Chris Cox, Randy Shreves in row 2. Jesse Ingram rounds out the field of 5 drivers. All right, drivers, welcome to heat number 2. Leader, you know the drill. 1.5 car length behind the pace truck, please. Everybody else, once we get the 1 to go, it asks you to tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. The start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. race hard, race clean, put on a great show. Good luck. Who do you got? Who do you got in this one, Chris?
I got to stay with my boy Grant.
I'm going with Brennan Weeks on the outside of row number 1 in the 120 car. Let's see if Brennan can get it done here. Although the champion, Chris Cox, is on the inside of row number 2. So this heat is absolutely stacked. Even Jesse Ingram in that 7 car has a win this season. Pace truck should exit. Grant Wesley, that is not a bad pick. It's hard to call. Randy Shreves is somewhat a sprint car specialist in that 56 machine, but never count him out. Coming off of turn number 4, looking for the green flag, the 88 of Grant Wesley will bring us. Green flag is out. Looks like Weeks laid back a little bit on the start to get a run. 88 car is down low. Brennan Weeks on the high side.
Yeah, the bottom's definitely got a lot of traction, but man, that high side's getting a heck of a drive off right now.
Chris Cox moves up to the inside of the 88. Let's see if Chris Cox can make something happen. Yeah, Weeks is running real high, but gets excellent run off the top in 3 and 4. 1 and 2. Chris Cox battling it out with Grant Wesley at the front of the field. Again, we'll go on board, or we'll go far chase with Randy Shreves. You could throw a blanket over these guys, putting on a great show. Little bit of contact up front.
Everyone's kind of fighting over that middle right now. Has the best of both worlds.
We have all 5 cars on the same screen of the far chase. These guys are absolutely getting after it. $525 on the line tonight. It looks like Chris Cox found that outside. Neither one of us picked him. Jesse Ingram squeezes the 120 into the outside wall. Shreves makes contact. Chris Cox up front, working lap 6 of 8. Grant Wesley, will he be able to get by the 515? The 358 modified champion is showing why he has that championship title. He moves to the front. The 7 car of Jesse Ingram. He's going to battle it out with the 88 of Grant Wesley. Both cars, Ingram working down low. I think, Chris, that top side is the place to be.
Yeah, it's getting consistent where it has good drive in and drive out. That middle, I think, is starting to dust off a little bit, where they're starting to spin a little bit.
Good race to the finish. Cox, Wesley, Ingram, Shreves, Weeks. And that is how they will line up in the feature. 3 minutes of warm-up.
Track.
So we're going to 3 minutes of warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turning into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. That just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
Welcome back to the stream. Brandon Templeton at the top of the board in warm-ups. We're getting ready to go feature racing. Feature to the grid, please. Michael Carter, Chris Cox on the front row. Jordan LaFawn, Grant Wesley in row 2. Brandon Templeton, Jesse Ingram in 3. Jeffrey Kemper, Randy Shreves in 4. Donald Ingram and Brennan Weeks in row number 5. Michael McNeil is not in. All right, drivers, welcome to the feature. You guys know the drill. Leader, I'm going to need you 1.5 car length behind that pace truck. Tighten up to the pace truck, if you would. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. The start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. $525 on the line. Race hard, race clean. Put on a great show. Good luck. All right, who you got, Chris? Who you got in this one, Chris?
Oh, I still got to stay with Grant. I feel like he's going to be consistent enough. Yep.
So I think, I don't know, man. Chris Cox, the 015, it's hard to beat Michael Carter, but if anyone can do it, he's had some great battles with LaFawn this season. Chris Cox on the outside of row number 1 has got my attention for some reason as I'm preparing to make his hero card t-shirt for his championship. I got that in my mind also. We are coming to the green flag. We will know in 25 laps. I cannot wait, Chris. Here we go. Coming off of turn 4, Michael Carter bringing him to the green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. 10, the best of the best drivers from Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights summer season out on the track. LaFawn moves up quick, gets underneath the 015. Those two have had epic battles this whole season. They are side by side at the line. Brandon Templeton, he's running right above the tires there.
Looks like we got Ingram and Weeks there trying to work that high side for later in the race.
These laps wind down quick with only 25 laps, but if we get a caution at the right time, you're in the back of the field, that wads these guys back up. With only 10 cars, it's still anybody's race.
Yeah, they're playing it smart by trying to run that high side in, because if they're in the bottom, it's hard to move through traffic when it's that close and when it's a train.
Looks like Jordan LaFawn takes over the lead from the 015 of Michael Carter. These two have done battle all season long. We're on the right front suspension of the 015. You can hear him working the throttle. Let's go in the cockpit, watch his hands, hear the throttle working. He is staying in contact with the 11 car. Great run off by Jordan LaFawn. Coming to the flag stand.
I think Templeton might have found something. He's starting to catch them guys pretty quick.
Working lap 7 of 25. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there tuned in, greatly appreciated. If you want to be a part of this, week 13 next season, please check us out. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on, well, a lot of places. Discord. Templeton running that bottom line. He's getting a strong run in. He's barely missing that tire at the entrance of 3 and 4, Chris, and he's going way high in 1 and 2. You think they'll run down LaFawn? LaFawn seems to be sticking to that same line.
Yeah, that middle is still really tacky, but coming out on 2, they're starting to get quite the drive off. They're pushing the marbles enough to get some traction. Here comes Carter right now.
Again, Jordan LaFawn take over the lead. Carter with a great run into turn 3, as did Templeton. LaFawn holding suit. Got that bottom line, kind of a shallow slider line, running the middle. Working lap 11 of 25. If they're going to go, it might be go time. Templeton now losing a little ground to Michael Carter, so Carter has found a line as he pulls up to the rear bumper of the 011 of Jordan LaFawn. Let's go on board and see what it looks like. You can see the 015 way up high. Jordan LaFawn staying on that low side, touches the wall there. We're coming in low in 3 and 4. LaFawn is able to cover. However, Carter is closing ground. Chris Cox, your points leader, back in 5th position. We are nose to tail. Looks like Jesse Ingram's going to battle it out. The two Ingram brothers running 7 and 8 with Jeff Kemper, driver out of Oregon, on that high side. Working lap 15 of 25. Up front, LaFawn still working. Good run in on turn 3 and 4. Slider line by the 15 of Michael Carter.
Carter's searching. He's looking for something that can just get that little bit of an upper edge. It's all you need with 10 laps to go.
He's pulling up. He's got a great entrance to turn 3. He loses a little bit on the exit. I'm surprised LaFawn hasn't started searching around, but what he's doing is working, Chris.
Yeah, no need to change it when it's working.
And we're closing in on laps. I know another guy in this broadcast booth that's known to come on late race. So will somebody be able to come on here in the late race? Kind of difficult with fixed setups, but it can be done. Jordan LaFawn, Carter Templeton are your top 3. Grant Wesley, Chris Cox are your top 5. Working lap 19 of 25.
It's like Templeton's trying that slider line again.
Yeah, I don't think Michael Carter's saving anything. I think he's wide out right here. I think Jordan LaFawn has the preferred line, man. What do you think? Is Carter waiting?
Jordan's driving a lot softer than Carter behind him. Carter's trying everything he can. I think LaFawn looks like he's coming out straight, not getting sideways. He's coming out on the bottom, whereas Carter's trying to drift up and grab the tacky above the slick, and he's just losing a lot of momentum doing that. But he's keeping the exact same distance.
Let's go on board with the leader and see what it looks like from the cockpit of the Indiana driver, Jordan LaFawn. You can hear the track starting to get pretty rough as the car bounces. We're coming out of turn 4 here.
Oh yeah, nice and easy on that throttle.
Yeah, like a walk in the park. He's easing in, easing out. Michael Carter, almost a half-second gap, not quite a half-second. We are coming to 1 to go for the first phase of the Dash for Cash. Again, it's average finish throughout the night. 1 lap to go. LaFawn, Carter, Templeton are your top 3. Chris, I think sprint cars is where this is going to get interesting because none of these drivers drive a sprint car. Brandon Templeton does, as does Randy Shreves. LaFawn, Carter, Templeton, your top 3. Top 3 start-finish line, please. Top 3 start-finish line. I think sprint cars is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about doing an average is somebody could be strong in these modifieds, but not strong in a sprint car, and then the complete opposite for someone else to balance out that average again.
But if you win modifieds and limited late models, how good do you have to do in sprint cars? So this will be interesting. Waiting for Brandon Templeton to get set here for the podium shot. All right, fellas, don't forget to go up for interviews. We will interview your top 3 in the first phase. No cautions, Clay. Great run race. We will get a word with Brandon Templeton first as soon as, and he is in the booth. So maybe we will skip Brandon so he can update the points. And I will let you, Michael Carter, as soon as he gets into the booth. You ready to go, Clay?
Yep, I'm ready.
All yours, my brother.
Hey, with second place, Carter, you were searching around trying to find something to get on LaFawn. What'd you change through the middle of the race where you were almost getting right on his bumper?
Well, I was running that bottom there at first, and then I seen Templeton run that high side there in 1 and 2, so I went up there and found some grip, and that was the only way I could get that run on him. It just wasn't enough. I tried everything I could. Jordan was just better tonight, and congrats to him, man. It was a good race.
Yeah, track was looking like it was getting a little rough. Did it play in a factor with throttle control towards the end?
Yeah, it was a little bumpy there in 3 and 4 through the center, but I don't know. He hit his marks every time. He made a few mistakes there, and I got up on him, and but it wasn't enough for me to really gain on him. So like I said, it was fun. Great job to him, and it was fun racing with him.
I mean, a second place with average for the purse tonight. I mean, second place, if you can manage with it with late models and sprint cars, I mean, second place is looking pretty good still.
Oh yeah, really happy with second place. We're pretty good in these limiteds, and I've been doing a lot of practice this week in these sprint cars. So still ain't got them things mastered yet, but you know, I got a lot more laps with them than I had previously. So we're gonna give her a try tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, you did phenomenal. Anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I gotta thank Randy Carter Painting, CTM Motorsports, Cale Smith, Travis Anderson, Redline Race Designs. And once again, I gotta thank you guys for putting this on. Greatly appreciated. Dirt Track Bank, thanks a lot. Gears Unlimited, everything, all you guys do, Joe, the admins, all y'all. Thank you so much.
All right, that is your second place finisher. I think we're gonna get third place and first place in next. So good job, Carter.
Yeah, man, I'll go with Brandon Templeton in the 31 Dirt Track Bank Machine. Brandon, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Man, that was some pretty amazing racing, man. Walk us through your night in that Dirt Track Bank number 31.
Yeah, you know, I didn't really have anything for those front two. Those guys were just the class of the field. I was doing everything I could, and they were just inching away from me. So, you know, basically at that point, it was kind of fall in line and see what they were doing. And if they were pulling away from me a little bit, I was just going to fall in line, and that's kind of what I did. You know, try to save it up and come get them the next two races.
Yeah, man, we were talking on the broadcast that that's what Chris and I thought you were doing, kind of just laying back, waiting to see what happens. Kind of difficult with fix setups, but as you know, we may have a fix for that coming up. Great run by you, man. And those of you that don't know, Brandon Templeton has been with me since the beginning. So, Brandon, as always, man, I super appreciate your support. I still remember we were running official limited late models way back in the day, man. So I greatly appreciate everything you do. Brandon is updating the points live as we go through the night. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your podium?
Yeah, I got to thank you, Joe, for getting me into this, and got your Six Racing Network for putting this all on. The league, you know, this is an awesome deal. Huge thank you to Jay Burdick and Dirt Track Bank, you know, putting the money out there, putting some skin in it, and giving us all something to shoot for. Hopefully he's having a lot of fun running the late model down in Kansas City tonight. Hammer Down Racing Team, you yourself, Kurt Schatzer, Brian Dickens, VMR Wraps, Extreme Images by Ashley, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care. That's pretty much it. Everyone watching at home, thanks.
Yeah, man. Late models coming up. Good luck, my brother.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Jordan LaFawn starts on P3, I suppose. Jordan, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, sir. Joe, how are we?
Man, you know what? $525 on the line, and you start with a victory. I'm good, but I bet you're much better than me, my brother. Walk us through your night.
Man, I knew I had to get out there early because Michael is hard to get around. Any car we're in, Michael's almost guaranteed to be somewhere up near the front. And I knew him starting on the pole was gonna be hard, so I kind of pushed it a little bit, so to speak, and went for it there early and just tried to hold on to it there. There at the end, I felt him there, man, about midway through the race. He was on my bumper there for a little while, and a few laps went by. I didn't hear him, and then I heard him again, so I kind of was like, oh man. I was just waiting for him to throw a slider, honestly, and he never ended up throwing it. And it was a good race. It was fun. It was clean, caution free. I think that's the first time that's happened all season, at least the races that I've been in. It was a good race, man. I cannot complain at all.
Yeah, man, if you had a camera on me, I'm smiling ear to ear. So that was a great run. It's a great way to start the night. And Clay Christopherson's with me in the booth tonight. And we went on board, man. You were super smooth, handling your business. You drove the 011 to Victory Lane. Who do you want to thank for your first, we still got 2 to go, your first victory of the night?
I got to thank my grandma Pete and my girlfriend Sydney for hanging out there watching the live stream. The guys over at Full Sim Motorsports, Apex Industries, On Crafters Lawn Care, Two Brothers Racing, Yost Racing, Blaze Designs, and we could just say a prayer tonight for my brother Brandon. He he had a seizure this morning, taking his oldest son to school, and had totaled his work truck, actually. He's at home now. He was at the hospital majority of the day. Everything's going good right now, but if everybody could just say a little prayer for him tonight, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry to hear that, my brother. So absolutely we'll send up a prayer for sure. We got the limited late models coming up, man. So let's get after it.
Yes, sir. I'll see you there.
All right, man. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is race 1 of the 3 race. Average finish takes settles your finishing payout position. I'll get it out here sooner or later. And we will move on to the limited late models. Again, if you're on our Discord page, you can look at the points live as we go along. The winner of this event gets $125. Everybody who enters, thanks to the Dirt Track Bank, will receive a payout. So while we switch over to the limited late models, Clay and I will take a little bit break, and we will be right back.
I'm Chris Jakimick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important, but I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text actually from my stepmom. It's like, I need you to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates. And she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day. 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought, we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, as like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. Is like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. physically I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. You know, every day he pushes it. From, you know, the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So you know that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program and it got transformed into Lo and Behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service, but at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home that's what it's about.
Please welcome our very own Director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir. Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña. Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza. From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio. From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy. Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle. And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Velarde, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jacksomek. Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
All right.
big things. Back in the day, he's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Henry.
Wow. We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going no matter how hard it gets.
no matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're gonna take care of each other. We've got each other, and it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's gonna help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's gonna save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
When people hear Till Valhalla Project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide or gifting handcrafted memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, these t-shirts simply stand for honor and freedom. Two words that wouldn't exist without our heroes. This makes Till Valhalla Project a place where fallen heroes truly live on forever.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Yeah, Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. You know, we brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
You know, on this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're gonna be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud, because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money, and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when We don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it, because I didn't want to look internally. I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources, in opportunity, right now.
Welcome back to the stream. We are back with the limited late models. You saw the first leg of the 3-car Dirt Track Bank Dash for Cash. Can't think of a better way to culminate this summer season than putting the feature winners with at least 6 races under their belt in a Dash for Cash. We plan on doing this for seasons to come. And those of you that missed the opening broadcast, we do have an exciting announcement. We are getting ready to pull the drivers off the track for a quick drivers meeting, and then we will get into the limited late model. Again, the payout for tonight, $525, is based on average finish between 358s, limited late models, and the 305 sprint cars. Chris, heard a little bit of rumor during the break that some of these drivers don't even own the sprint cars, so that's going to be interesting.
Oh, really? There's some guys that don't, huh?
That's what I'm hearing. I heard that maybe the winner of the last race doesn't own sprint cars. So we may have a shootout here. If Jordan LaFawn indeed doesn't own the sprint cars and has not practiced sprint cars, he's going to be pushing for the front real hard.
Yeah, with only 3 races, if you miss one, I think that's going to automatically eliminate you for winning.
Everyone gets paid, but there is a drastic difference between first and 10th, for sure.
Right.
The winner of this event gets $125. Second place is $100. Goes down to 75, 50, 30. The rest of the field gets $25. So this is going to be interesting, man. We're getting ready to call the cars off the track for a quick drivers meeting. All drivers exit the track. All drivers exit the track, please. All right, right, drivers, welcome to the limited late model leg of this journey. We still have one more to go after this. Again, all the same rules apply. 2 cautions and you're DQ'd from that division for that night. No intentional contact. Wall riding, we won't talk about it. Numbers, we won't talk about. Call-outs on Discord are not acceptable, although we haven't had that issue tonight. Excessive blinking, first time warning, second time EOL, third time you'll be asked to come back next week. Don't forget about the driver's fee for the drivers of this race and out there. Tomorrow night at midnight is the deadline. Monday morning, I'm going to start removing those drivers who haven't paid from the server. So if you want to reserve your number and you want to run with us next season, please make sure that you pay by tomorrow at midnight. The points are updated and in the file, so we will keep that updated as we go. And keep in mind that incident points do count tonight, so that may come into play, although the first race was absolutely phenomenal. Great job by the drivers. So we're in leg 2 of 3. We got sprint cars coming up next, so we will see how this plays out. In the meantime, we're getting ready to advance to qualifying. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Now would be the time.
It is.
So that's on you. Those of you, I just turned your mic on there, Jaden. So that is our race control partners in this event, Top Tier Race Control. That's on you. The overall incident, as you and I discussed, is 20, actually. So I will leave that up to you, my brother. 100% confidence. Anyone out there looking for a great race control team, you cannot do any better than Top Tier.
Well, thank you so much. Both races clean. Let's keep it that way, boys.
All right, fellas, no questions or comments. We will head into qualifying. I wish you the best of luck. This is a triathlon, not a biathlon. I'm hearing some of you may not have sprint cars, which could cost you right around $100. So we will see how this plays out. I wish you the best of luck and put on a great show as you have so far tonight. All right, Chris, we're back in the booth. Not seeing... Who am I not seeing? Brennan Weeks did not come back in for this race. So I'm not sure what's going on with Brennan Weeks. Everyone else came back. I don't know if it's a one race and I'm done for the payday or what's going on. But here we are in the limited late models, man. I'm ready to get after it.
Yeah, track look like it's already kind of getting a little rough up top. So the bottom looks very heavy. So I'm actually curious if the bottom will be dominant again, or if that high side, even though it's rough, will still play through in the fastest line.
Yeah, for those of you out there, the first 2 races are the big-bodied cars. Next season, Gears Unlimited Friday night is flirting with the idea of the Dirt Track Bank Premier Dirt Series, Dirt E-Series, which will be open setup late models, Super or Pro, and open setup mods, Big Block or 358. So we'll see how that plays out. Pretty excited about that also. Grant Wesley at the top of the board with a 15.769. This year's champion in Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights, the 515 of Chris Cox, currently 5th quick. Jeff Kemper out on track in the 181, just wrapping up his qualifying run with 4th quick run. Michael Carter in the 015 CTM driver out on track, top of the board, 15.735, moving Wesley down to P2. Jesse Ingram wrapping up 8th quick. We still do have the 011 of Jordan LaFond to go. He's going to wait it out here. And we will see how Jordan LaFond fares here in the limited late models. He put it in victory lane in the last race. At the top of the board, Michael Carter, Grant Wesley, Templeton, Shreves, Kemper, your top 5. Takes us 15, 7, 35 or better. Jordan LaFawn has come out on the track in the 011. Full Send Motorsports driver out of Indiana. Coming off of turn number 4. Not sure if he got in the wall there, Chris, or what, but
He must have got time 0.
Here we go with his first lap. Again, as you heard, Jordan LaFawn's brother, appreciate everyone throwing some prayers up for his brother. Hope everything is okay. Had an incident, as you heard in his interview today, actually. So appreciate you throwing some love to the LaFawn family as they go through this. 5th quick for the 011. So Jordan LaFawn will roll off the grid P5. Again, we're missing Brennan Weeks. Not sure if Brennan couldn't get in. Heat 1 to the grid. Heat 1 to the grid, please. Michael Carter, Grant Wesley on the front row. Brandon Templeton, Randy Shreves in row number 2. Jordan LaFawn, Jeff Kemper in 3. Chris Cox, Donald Ingram in 4. Jesse Ingram rounds out your field of 9 drivers. All right, drivers, welcome to heat number 1. This is the one and only heat for tonight, as Brennan Weeks did not grid. So, leader, I'm going to need you to stay 1.5 car length behind that pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, going to ask you to tighten it up, half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. The start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. 8 laps to get it done. You are racing for your starting position in the feature. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. All right, Chris, who you got?
I'm gonna have to keep going with Grant. Grant's, I know, pretty quick in these, and he got pretty lucky on that qualifying by only having 1 heat race and qualifying second. So now he's got the outside line. He's got the preferred line right now, and with initial start on green, I think that's really gonna help him for this first lap.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at the 56 of Randy Shreves, man. I see something in the 56. I know he's mainly a sprint car guy. Matter of fact, he was the Gears Unlimited Friday Night Sprint Car champion for this summer season. But, man, I'm liking what I see. So we will see how this plays out. Michael Carter on the front row will bring us to the green flag. As you heard, Grant Wesley to his outside. Do not count out the 31, though. Brandon Templeton on the inside of row number 2. The field is formed up. Pace truck is off. Michael Carter will bring us to the green flag as they come off at turn number 4, looking for that green flag. 8 laps to get it done. Green flag is out. We are underway. Wesley up high, Carter down low. Carter will slide up in front of the 88. Templeton, he dives in there. We're going to go 3 wide. Oh, LaFawn hits the inside tire, loses the front end of that machine. Templeton, we are 2 by 2, your front 4 or 6. Templeton's able to sort it out. He moves the 31 car up to P3. Randy Shreves battling back in the 56. Jordan LaFawn battling a damaged race car. So it looks like unless he can do something here, Chris, he'll be starting near the back of the feature.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't do that. I'm sure he won't do that in the feature now. He's going to stay far away from those tires.
Yeah, it looks like him and Jesse Ingram there almost made contact up front. Grant Wesley is not letting up. On the 015 of Carter, Wesley, we are on board with Wesley. You can hear him working the throttle here at Charlotte. You can see his hands just barely in the picture. He's busy inside that cockpit. Running that middle. What do you think about that, Chris?
The middle looks heavy. Hasn't slicked over. Looks like they're running bottom on 3 and 4 as well. And God, they just keep hitting those tires. The difference from camera and perspective from a modified to a late model is crazy. It doesn't look like you're that close, and all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah, we're working a few different lines. Templeton back up to third. That's where he finished in the mod race. 56 of Randy Shreves, now losing a little bit of touch. Your top three are starting to break away from the field. Wesley in P2 closes in on Michael Carter, not letting him get. We got one lap to go. We're coming off of turn number 2. We got 2 corners to go. Will Wesley be able to make it happen? No, sir. Carter, Wesley, Templeton, Shreves, Cox, your top 5.
I think Templeton might have found a line he's going to run the feature for a little while. He was right behind Grant, just there was no passing yet.
3 minutes of warm-up. All right, we'll take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be right back.
One, two, three. Love it, Molly.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
Our love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home. I'm making my way.
When people hear Till Valhalla Project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide.
Welcome back to the stream. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Had to cut that promo a little bit short. Feature to the grid, please. Michael Carter, Grant Wesley on the front row. Brandon Templeton, Randy Shreves in row number 2. Chris Cox, Donald Ingram in 3. Jeff Kemper, Jesse Ingram in 4. Jordan LaFawn will start at the tail end of the field of your 9 drivers. All right, drivers, welcome to the feature. Got 25 laps to get it done. Leader, 1.5 car length behind the pace truck, please. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, going to ask you to tighten it up. Half car length between yourself and the car in front of you. The initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start-finish line. Again, got 25 laps to get it done. $525 on the line. Race hard. Race clean. Good luck. I'm picking Michael
Pace truck
Carter.
is doing 35. Stay at 35.
I'm picking Michael
Do not
Carter.
jump
Who
up
you got?
40. Have a fun race.
You know, that was a hard heat race to call, but you know what? I'm gonna stick with Grant.
So Grant on the outside of row number 1. So we're running quite a few more laps than we did in the heat race. So we will see if this track slickens up. We actually changed the state. You can see it is getting slick right at right where they're running right there. We're getting ready to pace truck is off, coming to the green flag. Michael Carter coming off of turn 4 with Grant Wesley to his outside. Randy Shreves up to P4. He was quickest in warm-ups. Green flag is out. We are underway. Grant Wesley on the Michael Carter on the inside. Grant Wesley on that outside.
Big
the
run.
88 car gets a great run off the top side. Maybe the bottom is gone, Chris. The 88 getting it done on the top side. Brandon Templeton in P3. Randy Shreves in the 56.
Oh, I think 1 and 2, that bottom still has something to chew because Carter just had quite the run off that bottom.
We got contact in the back, the 515 of Chris Cox, the champion for the limited late model in this summer season, currently running back in P6. Up front, Michael Carter, he's able to make the pass. Will Wesley make another run at the 015? Is he biding his time? Let's go on board with Grant Wesley in that 088 machine. Yeah, he's on that high side, Chris, running right above the slick there as Carter still continues to work that bottom side. Let's see where Templeton's running. He's down there with Carter running the bottom side. So a few different lines by your top 3. Randy Shreves, he's kind of running in the middle. So we got some different lines working here. Michael Carter at the top of the board on lap 6 of 25. Grant Wesley, your pick, still running that outside, trying to get that outside to come in. Looks like he's moved down about a couple car widths there, Chris.
Oh, looks like he's going to try the bottom now.
Grant Wesley pulls up to the rear bumper of the 015. CTM Motorsports, Michael Carter at the front of the field. Grant Wesley in P2. Brandon Templeton running P3 once again. Wesley just pulled up right beside the 015. I'm not sure what run he ran or what line, but man, Chris, he closed right up and was side by side with Carter.
Yeah, if he would have had a little bit more drive, I think he would have been able to get in front of him and cut him off for a little bit. But right now he's running high and middle, and I can see every time he touches that middle in the slick area, he does spin just a hair, and I think that's really breaking some momentum for him. Or he's going to try the bottom again.
There he goes again. He made some ground up on your leader there that time.
Looks like that bottom's getting pretty rough.
Yeah, Carter's doing a real late entry, so he's coming in high and cutting down low, it looks like. Let's see if anybody else picks that up. Now Templeton decides to go to the outside. Shreves made contact with the 515 of Chris Cox, I think. That will move the 56 back in the field. Jordan LaFawn not able to move up through the field in the 01 or 011. He's only up 2 from the starting position. Jeff Kemper, the 181 driver out of Oregon, and Jesse Ingram in the 7 car. Looks like that 7 car is a little bent up, Chris.
Looks like Templeton might have found something way up there. He's starting to catch the leader. He passed Grant Wesley as well. I think Grant followed suit with him to try running that high side. And I think they're going to try chasing down the leader. Looks like a good portion of the cars went way up high now.
Templeton up high. Wesley going to give a slide job.
Oh, that one's going to hurt.
Caution will come out.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag. Yellow flag.
First caution of the whole night.
First caution of the night. We will take a look. Wesley with Templeton. We will take a quick look at what that looked like. Wesley down low in the 88 car, slides up. Templeton trying to cut down, just gets into the back of that 88 machine. This will be interesting here. A little bit of net code in the 515 and the 88 as Chris Cox gets into the back of the 88.
Yeah, Grant ran it a little close on the slider, and I think Templeton just had nowhere to go for the cut down, so he tried it, but just ran out of time, and they collided. I think the only reason Grant actually got looped is it looked like when Templeton hit him from the back, it picked up his rear tires a little bit.
Yeah, there you have it. And then netcode after that. I don't know if you can see the replay. I should have shared my screen with you, but you were talking some technology, man, that is way above an old person's head.
31.
Looks like Templeton is going to get an EOL. Send the 31 to the back of the field.
Someone may throw a slider, they can just come. Brandon?
I'm actually pretty surprised on that one. I mean, that definitely could have been a net code, but yeah, that was just hard racing right there. I mean, like I said before, that's our first caution of the whole night. So these guys are doing phenomenal. Looks like LaFon got collected in that as well. LaFon is not having good luck tonight in the late models.
No, he's not. And if he misses the sprint cars, that will move him significantly down in the payout order. So now Donald Ingram in the 010 is on the outside of Carter. We haven't mentioned Ingram's name tonight. That 010 was tough this season. He was running up front most of the season. Restart is on the leader. Great start by Carter. He puts a gap on the field. Chris Cox with the slide job.
Yeah, I think Cox wants that high side as quick as he can. That's what he was running before with Templeton, and they were making some ground.
Your champion in the limited late models for this summer season, the 515, running that high side, trying to get it to work with Donald Ingram to his inside. Randy Shreves in the mix.
Ingram's going to hold on to that second spot. He's running the bottom just like Carter is, and it looks like it's still consistent.
Yeah.
But that high side, you still got quite a few laps for that high side to come in, because that bottom looks like it is getting very rough.
Yeah, Carter loves seeing this in his rearview mirror, if he has one. Almost a second gap between himself and second place. So great showing for Carter. We'll look at the points after this race and see what it looks like. As you heard, Carter is definitely not a sprint car specialist, so this will be interesting. Randy Shreves, however, is somewhat of a sprint car specialist. He's currently running in P4, right next to the 515 of Chris Cox. Brandon Templeton moved to the back of the field, not able to move up yet. The 31 car got an EOL in that last incident. So him and Wesley are back in the back of the field.
Here comes LaFon. LaFon might have found something a little bit too. He's starting to put a door on Randy.
I'm looking for, there he is, the 0111, my apologies. LaFon currently running in P6, running underneath the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper. Side by side, so a lot of action here and great driving. We've had one caution all night, not to jinx it. We are working lap 23 of 25.
It's like
LaFon
Ingram
thinking
and Carter
about
kind of
splitting
checked
the
out.
field. Yikes.
That's some tight racing right there. Gonna bring it 4 wide on the back stretch.
Yellow flag, yellow flag.
Who is it? Jeffrey Kemper. We will take a look. Boy, they were trying to fit that into the tightest of spaces, Chris.
Something had to give right there, but that's actually going to bring out green, white, checkered. So that's going to get very interesting.
You got LaFon, Shreves, Cox, Kemper. God, that's tight right there.
Yeah, I think that's going to be probably called on the fun,
Yeah, well,
but
we'll be
I mean,
on
when you're
the
4 wide
7.
like that, that's a racing deal right there. I mean, you're only limited to so many places you can go with that situation.
Yeah, limited late models, man. What this is what it creates. So I did not hear who got the EOL.
Looks
We'll
like
see.
Jesse
Not
Ingram
keep
was
it,
EOL?
keep it straight.
Huh. Jesse Ingram in the 7 car. Brandon Templeton, he must have got a quick repair. He's going to roll off P8. Michael Carter at the front of the field still has Donald Ingram. Donald's doing a great job tonight. Neither one of us picked him, Chris, and he's stuck right in there. He is teammates with the 515 of Chris Cox, who's right behind him, so we will see how this plays out.
Oh, we were watching their own caution, Joe. We were watching that 4 wide. The caution was called on Jesse Ingram and Templeton.
I totally missed it. My apologies if you're tuned in out there. Picked the wrong caution. Pace truck is off. This restart will be on the leader. It is Carter, Ingram, Cox, Kemper, LaFawn, your top 5. So the 0-1-1 able to work his way back towards the front.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. Great start by Carter. So we got a few cars on the high side. We got your top 2 running the bottom.
I think LaFawn found something he likes down there, and nobody else is really down there that's in his way.
1 lap to go. LaFawn going to battle it out with Chris Cox. Those two are battling it out for a podium position. The 88 car of Grant Wesley was able to work back through the field. It's going to be a close call for this final podium, side by side at the line.
LaFawn's going to get it.
LaFawn gets the last podium position. Carter, Ingram, LaFawn. Top 3, start finish line, please. Top 3, start finish line. Man, another great finish. I don't even know what to say, Chris. That was great racing.
You know, I got to give it to LaFawn. I thought, watching the heat race in the beginning of that feature, he just did not have luck on his hand. And then he found something that apparently nobody else was really running. And he drove from P7, I believe, to 3rd in that. Very impressive.
All right, drivers, got it. Don't forget to go up for your interviews. Yeah, man, these guys have put on a whale of a show, and I want to thank you for joining me in the booth, man. Not used to having company up here. I do talk a lot, though, so I'm able to cover it, I think. Maybe I talk too much. We will get a word with your top 3 here momentarily. As soon as I find him, there's Jordan LaFawn, the 11 car. We were talking about the 11 car earlier. He was able to battle back through the adversity, move that 11 car up 6 positions from his start after knocking the front end of that car off in his heat race. Jordan, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, sir, Joe. How we doing, brother?
Man, tell me it ain't so that you don't have sprint cars.
Dude, it ain't, but that's about to change. I'm
you're
gonna bust down and make the purchase here, and I'm gonna run these 305s for the first time ever, dude.
You gotta love that, man. Great run. Walk us through your night. You went, you started in the back, you worked your way up, man. Didn't see it coming, but there you were. Walk us through it.
It was fun. I'd like to say the modified race was a little bit more fun for me, but it's always a good time coming up through the field trying to work your way up. Congrats to Michael. I know he finished right behind me in that first race, and I finished 2 spots behind him, so I think I gotta beat him by at least 2 positions. I think we're going off average, so this should be fun. This 305 sprint car race will be my first time ever in a sprint car, so I'm gonna give everybody a fair warning now. I've never driven a car with a wing on it, so hopefully, I'm hoping and praying this goes good on my end. But if anything, we're here to have fun, and yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out up in the booth, putting these shows on for us, Joe. And again, I'd like to thank my grandma for hanging out, the old lady for watching the kids while I sat out here in my man cave, and all the guys over at Full Sim Motorsports, Lawn Crafters Lawn Care, Blaze Designs, Two Brothers Racing, Yost Racing, and Big Bacon Media and Gaming. I forgot them. I forgot that one in the last race, so you guys could go give them a follow, shout out, and Yeah, man.
So here's the deal. I saw all the messages last week between you and your grandma. I almost sent her a message just thanking her for tuning in, man. That was an absolute insight into just some coolness, man. So I almost reached out and told her thanks for tuning in, man. I don't think it gets any cooler than that. That's what this is all about. It's about family. It's about all the goodness, man. It warmed my heart last week seeing the conversation between you and your grandma, man. That is freaking awesome, my bro. So here's the good news. Michael Carter does not have much or any race experience in a sprint car. So this is going to be fun.
Just remember, it's just a big old go-kart with a wing on it. You point and you go.
You point and you go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll have to get out of here, download them, get them all installed, and try to get as many practice laps in as I can in this little practice session before we qualify.
We'll let you get out of here, my brother. Congrats.
I appreciate it, fellas. Hopefully I'll get to talk to you guys again here in about an hour or so.
Man, I can't wait. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. The 010 of Donald Ingram moves up 4 positions from his start. Chris nor I saw this coming. Donald, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, way to put on a show. Did not call it, so my apologies. I should have known that 010 once it gets rolling, man. You're up front. Walk us through it.
Yeah, this is definitely my best class. I didn't do too good in 358s, but this one, it was good. I mean, I got a little lucky there when Chris and a few others got into it, but I was trying to run down Michael, but he keeps it smooth. He's fast.
Yeah, I would say the 010 is getting in that same class, man. So fun to watch. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your podium? And are you ready for the sprint cars?
I still didn't get the sprint cars, but, after tonight, I'm going to buy them. But
You're
I'd like to thank you guys.
You're not going to run in the sprint cars.
Nope.
Man, if I could do it right now, I'd buy you sprint cars. So what about Jesse?
No, he didn't get them either.
Man,
so Chris will be the only one of us.
You guys got $25 coming your way by compliments of the Dirt Track Bank. So you got 2 choices. One, you need to take that and send it for next season because I need you guys in this show. 2, you cats need to get, or better yet, get Chris Cox to buy you guys. If he's your sponsor, I'm going to put that on him. He needs to get you cats in sprint cars.
That's right. I agree with that.
I will let him know, man. We're going to miss you in sprint cars, man. That is very unfortunate, but great run once again in the limited late models. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your podium finish?
First of all, you guys are putting this on. The Dirt Track Bank for sponsoring it. My brother Jesse, my dad James, and Chris Cox.
Man, I just can't believe it. I'm sitting here in awe that we're going to miss you and Jesse running the sprint cars. We have 2 other drivers, Jordan LaFawn and Michael Carter, who have never raced a sprint car. Jordan just went to go buy sprint cars just now after his interview. So this sprint car show, it could be interesting, man. So, yeah, I don't know. We're going to run sprint cars again next season, but we're also going to have the open mods and limited late models on a few nights. So we might lean towards the big body cars a little bit. Our partners, Coast to Coast Racing League, they have sprint cars covered. So, yeah, we're thinking about 2,500 I rating or better to enter. And open set mods, you get to pick big block or small block, your choice, depending on track and pro and super late models. So that's what we're looking into for next season. So, man, super excited. Dirt Track Bank is full on board with us, and man, I could not be happier. So great run by you, my friend. I guess we will not get to see you in the sprint cars, which makes me a little bit sad, but that's all right, man. Great run by you. I wish you a great weekend. I'll send you a message because I got to figure out how to get this cash to you guys. So hopefully you have a PayPal. If not, I'll send you a personal message. So great run by the Ingram brothers tonight, man, and I wish you a great weekend.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. Have a good night.
You too.
Michael Carter, CTM Racing, parks the 015 into victory. Chris, did I pick Michael Carter or only in the earlier race?
I think you picked him in the 358s. I think you picked Randy for.
I picked
Randy.
Shreves. Chris, Michael, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, I had you picked in the 358s. I was a race early. Great run, man, in the 015. You got out front, man. You started in the front. You finished in the front. That's going to look pretty good in the points. We got sprint cars coming up. Man, walk me through your night in the limited late models.
Oh yeah, we got on the pole there, and the 358s. I gave up the bottom there to Jordan, and he got around me. And I was determined it wasn't gonna happen again. So me and who was that racing there? Is that Wesley Grant? Yeah,
Yep.
me and Grant was racing there, and it was fun, man. I had to really battle him hard to get out front there in the first few laps, but once I found my line there and kept hitting my marks, it was on rails. The car wasn't even moving, so I was really happy with the night.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
So we've kind of mentioned it briefly about the open pro and super late models that we're going to try out this next season, and these 358s and big blocks in the same night. So are you interested in open setup big body cars?
I mean, me and my team, we run open setups. We're still learning the whole setup thing. I mean, I race in real life, so I kind of apply some of that, but iRacing, there's little different tricks and trades, of course. And I probably, I'm gonna try it out for sure. I don't know how good I'm gonna be at the open setups, but definitely give it a shot. That's for sure.
Chris, did you have a question?
Oh, I was just gonna say, were you watching that high side a little bit? It looked like it came in, and then within 5 laps, it went right back away. Were you thinking about trying up there, or just sticking where you were?
I tried it that one lap there, and I mean, my lap times didn't really change that much, so I was just gonna be married to that bottom until somebody started gaining on me, and it worked out. It just worked out on the bottom, thank God.
Man, so I got a chuckle here because you tell us you're not a sprint car specialist. Jordan LaFawn just now, after his interview, went to buy the sprint cars for the first time. So you two are near the top of the points. We'll pull up the points here in a second. Man, this is going to be fun. This will determine the difference between $125 and maybe 50 or maybe 30. So, man, you guys race for your lives, man. I'm kind of giggling, and I'm pleased. This could not have turned out any better thanks to the great folks at the Dirt Track Bank, man. This is exciting. So, who do you want to thank for your victory?
Absolutely, it is. This is fun to be in. Like I said, I appreciate you guys. I got to thank Randy Carter Painting, CTM Motorsports, Cale Smith, Travis Anderson, Redline Race Designs, Gears Unlimited, Dirt Track Bank, Friday Night Lights, Joe, the admins, all you guys that put this together is greatly appreciated. And thank y'all.
Yeah, man, we'll see you in the 305 sprint cars. Get ready, my brother.
Yes, sir. I'm going to try.
All right, man. There you have it, ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen. There is phase 2. Let's bring up the points here real quick. See if we can't see. So, Chris, the points are up on the screen. Michael Carter is ahead of Jordan LaFawn, 138 to 147. Donald Ingram is P3, and so he won't run. Chris Cox is in P4. Brandon Templeton is in P6. So the top two have not run in a sprint car. Donald Ingram is not running at all. Chris Cox is a sprint car guy. How is Wesley in a sprint car?
That's a good question. I've never seen him run one.
So there we have it, man. So Brandon Templeton is pretty good in a sprint car. Jeffrey Kemper is good in a sprint car. Randy
Cox
Shreves
is fast too, isn't he? In
Cox
sprints?
is good in a sprint car. So, man, this will be interesting on how this plays out with 3 races. No one can really break away from the field. Yeah,
Now,
man.
is the penalty points actually subtracting from the total points, or how
They
is
are.
the?
Yep, they're up on
Okay.
this.
Oh, so
they're-
that hurt LaFawn a little bit. in the
It
late
did.
models.
Jordan LaFawn had a 6-point penalty points, which subtracted from his score. So
that would have been 3 points away if he didn't have any incident.
yeah, so the 305 sprint cars coming up is going to be fun, man. So we'll break away for a quick break, and when we come back, we will be back with the 305 sprint cars. Chris, thanks for hanging out with me, man. It's been a lot of fun. We will be back in just a few short minutes.
Soldiers, sailors, airmen and women enlist in the armed forces for many reasons, including a sense of duty, patriotism, the adventure, travel, and adrenaline. Many continue their military service because they discover a brother and sisterhood, an identity, a team. When service members are injured or wounded and can no longer perform their military duties, they quickly find themselves removed from their team, no longer serving the purpose for which they trained.
I came back from Afghanistan in 2013, and it was kind of a trial and error of finding out, after the military, what's next in life.
Being forced to leave a military career filled with purpose and pride can be challenging. Some challenges may leave lasting scars. An illness, wound, or injury can make anyone question their worth and sense of belonging after military service.
35 years in the Army, and I needed something to transition into. And so from that transition came an idea, and the idea was this.
Even though a military career may be coming to an end, or already ended, recovery can occur in the most unexpected places with unforeseen opportunities. Recovery, whether physical or mental, has no defined beginning or ending. It may last a lifetime.
For me, one of the biggest surprises that I found out going through it was that it's not like the flu where, you get sick and then you get better. You're never cured. And that's so frustrating. It's so hard to tell someone that. And it's so easy to slip back. And every single time you have to find a new way to fight it, it's a different monster every time you battle it.
This can feel daunting to a warrior who is suddenly forced to leave everything they know, trust, and love, finding themselves at the beginning of an unknown and possibly frightening new journey. Welcome to the world of motorsports.
We're in the right place at the right time in our lives to be able to take these guys that are wounded and put them in front of people that can actually show them that there is a camaraderie, there's a brotherhood within the motorsports industry, that there is potential for career opportunities for them if they have the skill set.
Motorsports offers an opportunity to regain that sense of identity within a safe, fast-paced team environment, providing a renewed sense of purpose. It has many facets, all created by teams working together for success on the track. Like in the military, in motorsports the goal is in accomplishing the mission, winning as a team, collectively celebrating the successes and supporting teammates through the losses. Through motorsport opportunities, Operation Motorsport assists medically transitioning service members and veterans with discovering new ways of achieving a renewed sense of hope, purpose, and pride.
Besides the basic brake changing, oil changing, tire rotation, I've actually learned how to assemble and disassemble some engine parts, change some axles, do some alignments and stuff. So give it a try. You never know. This was nothing that I expected. I did not expect to be fully suited, jumping over a wall while cars are going 100 and something miles an hour.
From motors to media, tires to tickets, and hot laps to hospitality. Operation Motorsport provides beneficiaries the chance to become immersed within professional motorsports and provides them with the opportunity to find out firsthand what captivates their imagination and interest. These opportunities provide an avenue of discovery within the motorsports immersion or diversionary therapy programs, all within the Excite, Engage, and Empower recovery programs. Operation Motorsport also offers virtual engagements and recovery opportunities through an iRacing league, engaging beneficiaries in a safe, competitive environment from the comfort and safety of their home. meeting other like-minded people, service members and veterans on the virtual racetrack, opening the doors to Motorsport Academy programs that prepare beneficiaries for their first encounters at the racetrack, and possibly leading to a day when they can get behind the wheel.
A team environment's a perfect place for people like us to kind of get back into some kind of normalcy when you go through a lot when you get medically discharged. And it kind of sucks and you put through the ringer, but I feel like what Operation Motorsport's doing is just something that's just really valuable.
Operation Motorsport prides itself in keeping beneficiaries engaged after the race weekend, throughout their recovery and beyond, through our recovery programs, or as a member of the 22 pit crew. No matter the background or story, Operation Motorsport is always there to listen, provide a safe and comfortable space, and a trusted circle of confidence that is open and honest about what difficulties may lie ahead for those transitioning out of a military career. Operation Motorsport believes in the power of team, identity, and purpose.
My name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2000.
When people hear Till Valhalla Project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide or gifting handcrafted memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, these t-shirts simply stand for honor and freedom, two words that wouldn't exist without our heroes. This makes Till Valhalla Project a place where fallen heroes truly live on forever.
My name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2003 to 2007, with one combat deployment to Haditha, Iraq in 2006. Throughout my time overseas, I experienced a lot of situations that you wouldn't necessarily find yourself in the United States. IEDs, getting shot at, rocket attacks, mortar attacks, you name it, it happened. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2007, I tried to adjust back to civilian life, and the whole time you're in, you just can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you start to realize, did you make the right decision? 9 times out of 10, most of the guys that get out, they immediately plummet into a depression cycle because you don't have that structure anymore that the military provides you. And this hit me super hard. We moved to one of the #1 top dive destinations in the entire world, and I figured I'd start getting back into scuba diving. And after our first couple dives, I realized how peaceful it was underwater and how none of my problems followed me. You're just there in the present moment. I had the idea for Warfighter Scuba, and I kind of hinted at it, and they said, "You go for it." And that's basically how Warfighter Scuba was born. So Warfighter Scuba is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with the IRS. We bring combat wounded veterans down to the Caribbean to teach them scuba diving to treat their wounds. Whether their wounds are physical or mental, such as PTSD, scuba diving is a extremely therapeutic activity for mental stressors and for physical ailments. Mentally, as soon as you go underwater, your body just reacts. It's not normal. You're not meant to breathe underwater. Automatically puts you into the present moment. You have nothing but peace and calm. This ability to separate yourself from reality really allows veterans to find out what their trigger mechanism might be for their particular mental stressors. So every veteran who comes through our programs gets a 100% funded trip. Each veteran also receives a round-trip ticket from their home of record. That ticket will bring them straight into Roatan, and their entire week stay, their hotel, their meals, their snacks, everything's paid for. And so that veteran can get an entire week away from reality and completely separate from any kind of problems they might be facing at home. So each veteran receives very private and intimate training sessions when they come down to Roatan. You know, we first start in the pool, we do some confined water skills, we'll then switch out to the open water dives. From that point on, it's not even training anymore, it's just fun. It's learning on a level that I don't think most people have experienced before. We do all the certifications for them that we can in a week at their pace, you know, from open water to full face mask to nitrox. Every trip that we have, whether it's one veteran or 4 veterans at a time, we just have a blast. You know, there's no bad karma. We've seen sharks, we've seen turtles. I mean, we've seen 4 eagle rays at once. I mean, just the things that happen when we're in the water together are truly, they're just unbelievable. The dedication that these vets have now to scuba diving and to wanting to come back and to help other veterans experience what they've experienced, it hits me in the heart more than most things have ever hit me in my heart. It's truly an honor to take, you know, these heroes into the water. It's really cool to see the transformation that happens to them, you know, from being, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. You know, I've gone snorkeling a few times, or, you know, I'm not that good of a swimmer. And the funny thing about scuba is none of that matters. You know, you're completely weightless in the water. You could come down and have 0 experience in the water and be one of the better scuba divers out there. So as with all nonprofits, we rely solely on generous donors such as yourselves. None of these programs could exist without people who are willing to give some of their hard-earned money up to save veterans who might be struggling with everyday life and have that unfortunate thought of suicide. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes directly to the veterans. I personally, myself, I do not take any kind of money. All my time is donated. There's no salary to anybody who's on the board or any staff positions in Warfighter. Donations can be made on our website at www.warfighterscuba.org. And remember, every donation is 100% tax deductible.
Welcome back to the stream. It is nightcap time. Chris and Joe in the booth tonight having a great time. We are back with the 305 sprint cars to close out the Dirt Track Bank Dash for Cash. Chris, here we go. We got a lot of drivers that never driven sprint cars. We got some drivers in here that didn't even own sprint cars. So this is going to be interesting. What do you think?
Well, for one, I guess Grant has ran sprint cars before because he's top time. But yeah, it's gonna be a very close end result because I mean, even with some of the guys that have never ran them before, the guys that are unfamiliar with them had to either buy them or never run them, and they're in top 3 in points. And then you got guys that are really good with them that are right in the middle. It's hard to say if one of the bottom 5 guys or sixth place in points right now could win this and take second or first away in the points.
Yeah, there is, I was just thinking between 6th place in the points, the average between the 3, and first place, that's $100 difference. So these drivers could make $100 right here in this race, which kind of levels the playing field. So yeah, man, I don't think this could have worked out any better. I got to tell you, we talked earlier this week, and we're going to ask for input out there on how we should have had more than, I think we had 11 feature winners that participated in 6 weeks of the season. How do we increase that? So we talked about a dice roll. We talked about all kinds of things. So we're going to need to have that conversation on our Discord page here very shortly, so that we can get more feature winners. So next Dash for Cash, we have more drivers in the field. But the racing tonight, Chris, has been absolutely outstanding, man. It has been fun to watch.
And we're sitting on, what, two total cautions from modified late models, and we'll see how the sprint cars go?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, and it looks like we're only going to have 7 cars for the sprint
did you just
cars.
paint that car?
So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So I'd like to see bigger numbers. We got to figure out how to do that. So with the help of the drivers, hopefully we can figure out how to do that. So
okay. I mean,
we're getting ready to call the drivers off the track here. It looks like everybody is in the server.
I didn't know if you just bought the car and just threw some decals on it.
There's
I mean, it looks good,
LaFawn.
though.
We'll
Looks
drive
good.
along.
That's
Let's
what's
go on
best.
board with LaFawn. And this is his first time ever in a sprint
I
car.
did it a few weeks ago, knowing this race was coming up, so I threw some decals on it. Did it myself. I'm not the greatest, but I know a little bit about this. Thank you, buddy.
Let's see if we can get a view. I want to see.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. You know, I paint my cars. I'm not really the greatest at it, but you know, I get by.
What camera angle am I looking for here? Rear
That's right.
chase.
Saves a lot of money.
Here is brand new, just bought sprint cars like 10 minutes ago, out on the track. Jordan LaFawn looks like he's got a pretty good handle. He's holding off Brandon Templeton, who is a really good in a sprint car, Chris. So let's see what happens.
He's in the 14s at least, so he's a lot better than me. Race suit doesn't quite match, huh?
We're getting ready to call the drivers off the track for one last driver meeting before we get this underway. So we will call them off the track as soon as I make myself race control. My apologies. Should have done that while we were away. Get all drivers clear the track, please. All drivers clear the track. $11 cars out there getting every lap he can get. All right, gentlemen, welcome to the nightcap. 305 sprint cars. All the same rules are still in play. 2 cautions if you bring out in any race, you're DQ'd. Intentional contact, not acceptable. Call-outs on Discord, not acceptable. Arguing with race admin, not acceptable. Excessive blinking, you guys know the story behind that. Don't forget, tomorrow night at midnight is the deadline to pay the driver's fee for the fall season. Start removing drivers on Monday morning. So if you get removed, your number will be up for grabs. Points update is updated live. There is a very narrow gap. It's still up for grabs. We had a couple of drivers that didn't have sprint cars at all. We have a couple of drivers that are brand new to sprint cars, so this is going to be interesting. It couldn't have turned out any better. We will get ready to advance to qualifying. Any questions, comments, or concerns, now would be the time. All right, fellas. Your share of $525 is on the line. Let's advance to qualifying. I wish you all the best of luck.
Should we keep everybody in this race at the end so we total everything up all at once then we can interview the person that won or whatnot?
Yeah, that's a good point. One last thing. After the race, everybody stay in the server so we can interview the top three and then interview the top three prize winners after the points are totaled. So please stay in the server after this race. Thanks for that, Chris.
Yep.
We are headed to qualifying. Here we go. We got kind of a soap opera drama playing out here. We got some guys that didn't show up because they don't have sprint cars. We got Jordan LaFon
moving forward
just bought the sprint car before this race. Michael Carter, as he told us, he has only had sprint cars for a brief moment. So we're out qualifying. 5:15 of Chris Cox out on the track. Randy Shreves, sprint car champion from this past season, is in the field in the 056 machine. Chris Cox will take the green flag. We are underway. Little different line in the sprint cars, Chris. Chris Cox, 14.524. Brandon Templeton in the 31 machine, top of the board, 14.351. Looking for your summer champion in the 305 sprint cars out on the track, the 56 of Randy Shreves at the line. Grant Wesley to the top of the board with a 14.296. Let's see if Shreves can't move up the board here as he's coming off of turn number 4, running the high side as he does. Fifth quick for Randy Shreves. That's surprising, Chris. Michael Carter, fourth quick with a 14.451. Not bad for somebody who has not been in a sprint car very often. Randy Shreves up to second quick with a 14.330. So put the 56 second on the board behind your current quick time, Grant Wesley, with a 14.296. So we are waiting on Jordan LaFon to come out on the track. And here he is debuting that brand new 305 sprint car. Put it together in the last 10 minutes, I guess, Chris.
Yeah, we'll see. Grant ran a really good time, and he's sitting fifth
driver
right now
out of
in points.
Indiana is going to wheel the number 011 car. Let's see how he does in his first ever sprint car race. Seventh quick for LaFon with a 14.559. Coming off of turn 4 for his second lap. Can he improve? Seventh quick for LaFon. LaFon will roll off seventh on the grid. We will have one heat race, which will determine the feature starting position. We will go to a quick break, and then we will get 30 laps of racing here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Heat 1 to the grid. Heat 1 to the grid, please. Grant Wesley, Randy Shreves on the front row. Brandon Templeton, Jeffrey Kemper in row 2. Michael Carter, Chris Cox in 3. Jordan LaFawn rounds out your entire field of 7 drivers. All right, drivers, welcome to heat number 1. By now, you guys know the drill. Leader, 1.5 car length behind the pace truck, please. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. Start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. You got 8 laps to get it done. This race will determine where you start in the feature. Race hard, race clean. Put on a great show. Good luck. All right, Chris, who you got?
Grant was running really smooth. I've actually never seen him in a sprint car. So I'm going to stick with Grant again. I mean, he's a consistent driver. It just goes to show that you don't have to finish even first or top 3 every single time to be good in points. He's sitting 5th right now with Ingram getting taken out of this race. It's going to hurt him in 3rd spot. So essentially, Grant, I'm going to say, is sitting 4th spot right now. And I think he has a chance at top 3, I think, with this, if he finishes a good spot.
I'm going to go with my teammate on the inside of row number 2, the 31 car, Brandon Templeton, driver out of Corning, Iowa. Brandon also was not a sprint car driver. However, he has picked up the craft here in the last few months. As we come off of turn 4, Grant Wesley on the point. Green flag is out. We are underway. But you can never count out the 56 car of Randy Shreves. He is your summer season champion for Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights. Wesley holding his own. Boy, he cut that tire close, Chris.
Ooh, Randy's getting a heck of a run, though, on that middle. I think he might be able to take Grant here coming out of 4.
Templeton actually pulls up alongside the 56. So Randy Shreves running a slider line, getting a great run off the top of 4. Templeton now, he's under attack from the 181 of Jeff Kemper and the 515 of Chris Cox. Templeton running the bottom side. Looks like Wesley decided to move up a little bit there, see if he can't block that 56 car.
If you look in the back right now, too, we got LaFawn and Carter, our top first and second in points, fighting it out, too. Them two are learning together, and they're doing it side by side.
Yeah, so no stranger to being side by side. These two in limited late models and 358s. They're giving it a go in sprint cars tonight. Up front, Grant Wesley, your pick, leading the way, followed by Brandon Templeton, Randy Shreves in P2. Chris Cox has moved up to P4, up 2 positions from his starting position. Jeffrey Kemper in P5. I think that 30-lap race, the way the track wears, is going to play a big role in who wins this thing and what line they run.
Oh, Chris getting into Randy very hard right there, giving him the right rear. They're both trying, I think they're both fighting for the exact same line right now.
So Chris Cox passes Randy Shreves. We heard, as you heard, there was contact made between those two. Wesley, Templeton, Cox, Shreves, Kemper, LaFawn, Carter is how they will roll off. 3 minutes of warm-up. We got 3 minutes of warm-up, Chris. We will be right back.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name's Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turned into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. it's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
Welcome back. Brandon Templeton at the top of the board with a 14.385. Chris, here we go. Feature to the grid. Feature to the grid, please. Grant Wesley, Brandon Templeton on the front row. Chris Cox, Randy Shreves in row 2. Jeff Kemper, Jordan LaFawn in row number 3. Michael Carter will round out your field of 7 drivers. All right, drivers, welcome to the feature. Leader, I'm going to need you to stay 1.5 car length behind the pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up, half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. The initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start-finish line. We're going to go 30 laps to settle this $525 purse. Race hard, race clean. Good luck.
Leader and everybody.
All right, Chris, here we go.
35 miles per hour. Hold that.
30 laps to settle this. Templeton's going to be hard to beat. Your Grant Wesley's going to be hard to beat. There's not a... The top 4 are...
If you can give him a little more room.
The top 4 are stacked.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to be able to put them under a blanket
And
most of this race because the
patio.
305s don't drive away like 360s or 410s. So I'm curious to see on coming into 3 right there how it's really slicking up in the middle. That's going to split people from going high and going low. Nobody's going to be running the middle until coming in. So there might be a couple guys sliding up, but I'm really curious to see what line they pick coming into 3.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. We are underway. Don't count out the 181. Jeffrey Kemper can get around the track in a sprint car also, but it is Wesley who moves out to a
LaFawn out of
quick
nowhere.
The 11 car of LaFawn, he moves up to P3 with the 515 to his outside. Jordan LaFawn looking for a payday.
First in a step on that one.
First time ever in a sprint car. Brandon Templeton falls back to P5. Grant Wesley holding off the 56 of Randy Shreves. I've raced with Randy Shreves for probably a couple years now. He's going to be very patient, and he will wait for this track to wear. So let's see how that plays out. But the surprise of the night is the 011, the driver out of Indiana, Jordan LaFawn, who just bought sprint cars, 45 minutes ago? And he is
he hammered down on that start in the first lap and drove from the back to third. And we better make sure it's actually him driving when he gets out of the car.
Oh, good point. Good. Oh, slides.
Oh.
Slides up into Shreves. They make contact again, so Randy Shreves is not going to be pleased with that. That will most likely send LaFawn to the back of the pack. We will get a quick look at the replay brought to you by the Dirt Track Bank. They made contact coming out of 4.
Yeah, I think he just overdrove a little bit and got doors, and I'm trying to look on coming into 2. It looks like he just slid up a little bit. These 305s, if you hurt them a little bit, they'll push like a dump truck. And
yeah,
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, Randy Shreves got in that outside wall after that contact a little bit, so LaFawn gives him the right rear.
0-1-1.
So it looks like LaFawn and Shreves will most likely be heading to the back of the field. So that'll shake things up a little bit. Grant Wesley at the front of the field in the 88 machine. So Wesley holding on to that position. Chris Cox in P2. Brandon Templeton, now he's back up to P3.
Well, Carter's holding his own, sitting in middle pack. I think that's, to be honest, I think that's all he needs to do is sit middle pack, and he might have this thing in the bag.
This restart is on the leader at the exit of turn 4. Everybody else, you're going on the car in front of you, not on the green flag. Good luck. Yeah, so now Jordan LaFawn is back there once again with Randy Shreves. Randy Shreves, I thought he would be in contention, and he's still got plenty of time. Pace truck is off.
Got to remember, too, though, incident points or contact points. That might really hurt LaFawn and Randy at the same time with that incident they just had.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Forgot all about that. Grant Wesley takes off. He's got a good lead over Chris Cox, who is in P2. Brandon Templeton in P3. Michael Carter wheeling a sprint car. Not, as you heard, that's not his favorite ride. But it looks like he's getting it done in the 015. He's up to P4. Jordan LaFawn in the 11 car. Randy Shreves going to take it 3 wide, coming off a 4. Shreves and LaFawn cannot get away from each other here, Chris.
Pretty good battle up front. I mean, with these sprint cars too, it might look like they're far away from each other, but one good corner and one car could pass all 3.
Yeah,
so they're in reality they are very, very close right now.
We're 3 wide in the back. Randy Shreves trying to make up ground lost from an incident with the 011 of Jordan LaFawn. LaFawn, he sends that thing in there super hard, man. Almost too hard sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, he's figuring out the car. He's learning the car. He's trying to figure out the limitations, which I think he figured out earlier. Now he's driving a little more consistent, a little more smooth. I think he's trying to get the feel for it now, not to overdrive it, because he still wants to finish this race to keep a top 5.
Templeton and Cox make contact. That was tight coming off a turn. Looks like the 31 car a little bent up there. Templeton.
That's actually going to give Carter a chance now to get in there and get the 3rd spot, but that's going to be a tight shindig right there with all 4 of them right next to each other. Something looks like it must be broke.
I think it is. I think the handling went away on the 31 machine. Up front, Wesley leading the way, working lap 15 of 30. Chris Cox in P2. Sprint car's the only division that Chris Cox did not win in Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights this past season. Randy Shreves back up to P3, so the 56 working his way back through the field. LaFawn and Michael Carter running 4th and 5th. So for having never been in a sprint car, they're giving it a go. Brandon Templeton had contact with the 515 of Chris Cox, which bent up the 31 car, not handling the way that he wanted it to.
No, his steering's pointing to the right the whole time, so I think he might be out of this one if we do not get a caution and he can go in for a quick repair.
Wesley pulling away from the field. He's running the high side. Shreve's running a shallow slider line. Chris Cox running the bottom. So
I think Cox has something for him. He's catching very, very quick on that bottom line. I think the bottom still has some bite for it to give. He's running high, mid, 3 and 4, and he's running pretty low on 1 and 2, but it's working.
Go on board with Randy Shreves as he tries to close in on Cox and Grant Wesley. But you're right, Chris. They're closing in on Wesley. Wesley opened up a big lead early. Caution does come back out.
The yellow flag would not
See if
go
Templeton
out
can
for
get
the
in there for a quick
incident with
repair and
Randy
work his way up. He didn't get lapped, so he's not a lap down, so he doesn't have to worry about that. He did pretty good holding on to the car for what I saw. It looked like it was a handful to handle on for those 10 laps that they just did.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the caution came out, Chris. Did you see anything?
I didn't see anybody spun around or anything, so
It had to be thrown. We had 2 cars spun.
I guess we'll have to see with the race control on who they call it on, and we can go back and see.
Yeah, SDK didn't flag a caution at all, so it must have been race control thrown. We will see if EOL is given here. Looks like Templeton got his quick repair, but he will be down a lap.
Oh, it is going to count him down a lap, eh?
Think so. We'll see here as he comes out of the pit. Maybe not.
Make sure everybody gets back out.
Grant Wesley at the front of the field with Chris Cox, Randy Shreves in tow. Brand new to sprint cars, Jordan LaFawn, Michael Carter running 4th and 5th. They were 1st and 2nd in the
everybody's
points
back in
coming
line.
into the event. We are working lap 21 of 30, so there is still time to work your way, but running out of time, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think Grant wanted that caution. I noticed the last 3 laps, he was running up high, but he kind of started searching around in 1 and 2 as well. I don't think he felt like he was as fast as earlier on the high side. So I think he's searching around in 1 and 2 as well. Cox might have something for him because 1 and 2, Cox was getting a really good drive off, and 3 and 4, they were about even. So I think any passing we're going to see is going to be in 1 and 2.
And don't count out Randy Shreves in the 56. So here we go. We're working lap 22 of 30. We're going to settle it all here momentarily. Lights are off on the pace truck. The pace truck should exit this time by, leaving the field to Grant Wesley, who has led from flag to flag so far. The 088.
LaFawn's back up to 4 even.
LaFawn and Carter sticking together. They're 4th and 5th, which will be interesting if that's good enough to stay at the top of the points. I don't know. Green flag is out. Grant Wesley gets a great restart on Chris Cox. He's going to stay on the bottom. Chris Cox running the slider line. Randy Shreves behind the 515. Randy Shreves is Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights Sprint Car champion as he pulls underneath the 515. Shreves looking for P2. Can he get it done? Looks like the 515 doesn't get a huge advantage. Those two might pass Wesley. Good run off the top side by side at the line. Wesley with the better run off of 1 and 2. Cox was able to pull side by side coming out of turn 4. Randy Shreves, he's going to split the difference, working lap 25 of 30.
This is just what Grant wants right here is Randy and Chris battling out right behind him. I mean, that's really cutting both their momentum.
It is indeed. These two will probably, Cox with a great run into turn 1 and 2. Crossover coming from Randy Shreves. These two need to settle this and get in line if they're going to chase down your race leader, Grant Wesley, with, we're in lap 27 of 30. Great battle up front. Brandon Templeton able to get his quick repair. He's back up to P5 behind Jordan LaFawn. But I think the battle's going to be right here where we're at with Chris Cox and Randy Shreves working lap 28 of 30. This is bad news for the field when the 56 of Randy Shreves gets to that top side. Gets a good run off the top side. Cox is able to hold him off, though.
See if Cox has something for Grant coming up.
Last
He's got to make
lap.
it happen right here.
Here we go. Wesley, Cox, Shreves. Wesley goes down and blocks that bottom, but doesn't need to. Coming to the line, Wesley, Cox, Shreves, your top three. Top three, start finish line, please. Top three, start finish line. Jordan LaFawn in his first ever sprint car ride finishes P4 in front of Brandon Templeton. Michael Carter finishes P6.
Make sure to remind them to keep in the server.
All other drivers, please remain in the server till we get the final points here momentarily. All right, drivers, got it. Head up to your interviews.
With Grant winning, that might change some things up real quick.
I think you'll get the live view of the points before I do. So I don't know where I'm at here. Let me get back to the broadcast. We have all three drivers in the server here. We'll get a word with the 56 of Randy Shreves. Randy, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Man, so you got into a little bit of contact with the 515. That kind of set you back there. You were able to work your way back up, man. Walk us through your night.
Yeah, it was just a tough night all around, all three divisions for me. I don't know, it just seemed like I was attracted to incidents tonight. But yeah, this last sprint car race, man, it was real fun between me and Chris exchanging sliders there. You know, can't complain about a podium. Not quite where I wanted to finish, but it'll do.
Yeah, man, you got some cash coming your way regardless of where you finish. So that's kind of a cool deal. Hope to do that again next season. Who do you want to thank for your podium? And by the way, I haven't congratulated you on your championship in the 305 sprint cars. You got a champions package coming your way, man. Who would you like to thank for your podium finish?
First off, definitely want to say to you, I appreciate, everything you do with the league and everything, the broadcast. Then I want to thank, the Dirt Track Bank for coming along and putting up some cash for us to run for. Makes it a lot more fun, a lot more competition. Then I definitely want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, ABR Setup Shop, Redline Race Design, One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, CD Cinematography, and everybody for watching.
Yeah, man, stick around. We're going to announce the points winner here and see where everybody finished on the points. So we will do that here as soon as those points are updated. So great run, man. And as always, it's a pleasure to watch you run.
Thanks, Joe.
Yes, sir. Chris Cox in the 515 moves up one position from his starting position. Chris, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Man, we're not sure what that's going to do to the points. We're kind of all just sitting around waiting for those points to update. But great run, man. One position short. Walk us through your night.
Well, I was afraid I wasn't going to have the car tight enough. I ended up having the car perfect, I think. Wheeled a couple people on accident. The first one I got in that grass and just, I guess it just pushed. I don't know what happened there. Ended up wheeling at Randy. That was an accident. And then LaFawn passed me and I guess checked up for Grant. And I didn't realize he was checking up and I kind of wheeled him too. But it happens.
Yeah, it does, man. Sometimes that was a great night. Thanks to the Dirt Track Bank, man. What a ton of fun! You guys put on a whale of a show. There wasn't a lot of cars. We definitely didn't have a lot of cautions, man. So congratulations on your 2 championships this year. Are you going for 3 next season?
I'm hoping so, especially after the way this race has turned out. I hope I'm getting better at these sprint cars.
So I talked to Donald Ingram earlier. They're on your team, right?
Yep.
Man, so depending on where you finish in the points, I told them I'd get in your ear about buying those 2 gentlemen sprint cars. So, man, I'm not saying that you have to, but you might have a little bit extra cash to spend on those cats as your teammates. Just saying. Who do you want to thank for your podium, man?
Well, I'd like to thank MJC Desktop Fabrications. I'd like to thank you for putting this on. I'd like to thank Melbourne Bank for giving the money. I thank everybody for showing up. Having a good season, getting win. Other people getting wins. That was good. Keeping it clean, keeping it as clean as we could. I was having a good race. That's what I'd like to. Yep.
Yeah, man, great show, and so hopefully we see you next Friday.
I'll be there.
All right, man. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Wait around as we're going to announce the points here momentarily, so we'll do that in a moment. The 088 car, Grant Wesley, is your quick time for the night. Rolls off on the pole, keeps that 088 on the pole all night long. Grant, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, great run, man. You got the 088 out front, did not look back. Great run by you. Walk us through your night.
Yeah, I guess for the 305 sprints, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything much better. I typically like a topside track, and the track came in for me. So that was really nice in the feature. I was able to keep my nose clean, stay out of trouble there.
Yeah, man, you captured a victory. We'll see what that does here momentarily in the points. I think Chris is actually checking the points. So as soon as we're done with
we
this,
got them set in.
As soon as we're done with this interview, we're going to grab the top 3 in points and get them an interview, man. Who would you like to thank for your victory in the 305 sprint cars?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys, obviously, for putting this on. Joe, for doing a broadcast. I'd like to thank the Dirt Track Bank, probably most of all, for putting the money up for this. So appreciate that. Gears Unlimited. Like to thank the guys that run your race control. They do a pretty awesome job. You don't see that a whole lot in some of the leagues. I'd like to thank my teammates at Horror Esports, my friends and family for watching, and my girlfriend, Brittany.
Yeah, man, you guys were in the race, so you didn't get to see the latest that came out. Coming up October 21st, the Dirt Track Bank has come on board. We're going to run a week-long event, 360 sprint cars, pro late models, and big block modifieds, and it's going to be a $1,500 payout. So our good friends at Coast to Coast Racing League and us got together. The Dirt Track Bank is 100% on board, so that will be a $1,500 payout. So that's coming up during our next season here at Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights. So a lot of exciting stuff going on, man. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for your support.
Yep, thanks.
All right, man. All right, Chris, let's have it. Do we have some points? Let me actually pull up the points here and see what we got. It looks like LaFawn and Carter hold on to first and second. Grant Wesley moves up 2 in the sprint cars. So we will go ahead and cut away and see if we can't get Michael Carter, Jordan LaFawn. We just talked to Wesley. We will, Grant, you still in the booth?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Man, so there you go. 3rd place in the points. So you will take home $75, man. Great overall night. Way to run up front, and it makes a difference. So $75 will be coming your way. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely gonna roll that into next season with you guys, and definitely looking forward to that big money event, the 1,500. Definitely sign me up for that one. So
yeah, man. That's crazy. Check out c2crl.com on the Coast to Coast Racing webpage. All the information for the Dirt Track Bank World Finals is on there.
Cool. Will do.
All right, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Jordan LaFawn, he buys sprint cars like 2 minutes ago, and he puts it decent running. Jordan, how'd you like the sprint cars, my brother?
Man, me and Michael Carter was just sitting down there chit-chatting about them, and I like them. It's not bad. I completely changed my whole mind on the old sprint car game. When I got iRacing a little over a year ago, I told myself I wasn't ever going to buy the wing sprint cars. Wasn't ever going to waste my money on them. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I bought them cars tonight, and I'm glad I got in there and raced with these guys. It was fun.
Yeah, man, that actually probably paid for you huge. You're looking at $100 payday. We got to figure out how to get that cash to you. I'll send you a personal message. $100, man, for coming out and running with us all season. You put on a heck of a show tonight and did just well enough in the sprint cars to keep that second place finish, man. Greatly appreciate all your support. It's been an absolute wonderful season, man. And you got any words you'd like to say finishing second in the cash for $100?
Yeah, them incident points got me in the limited race, man. If I would have kept my nose clean, I think I would have got old Michael, but I can't complain with the racing tonight, dude. The racing's been the cleanest, I think, in the Friday Night Light series tonight than it has. I was just kind of hanging on, dude. I know. I watched. I don't know if you guys know Michael Millard, but he runs iRacing. He's a sprint car guy, real life. But I watch his streams, and he runs a lot of these 305s, and I know they're kind of like the limited late model in a way. They're all momentum based. If you lose your momentum, you lose. I mean, you're losing spots. So I just kind of tried to stick her up top there and keep as much momentum as I could, and ended up paying off in the end.
Yeah, I thought for sure you had nitrous in that thing on that first lap.
Man.
So what you missed while you're driving, I don't know if you heard, but if you like the Dash for Cash, man, we just announced October 21st through the 27th, 360 wing sprint cars, pro late models, and big block modifieds, brought to you by Coast to Coast Racing League and Friday Night Lights. It's called the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, $1,500 payout. So we will take that week off of Friday Night Lights so that we will be heavily involved in that event. So again, that's $1,500. It is a paid event, but yeah, man, the Dirt Track Bank is showing up big, and those folks are absolutely wonderful. If you want more information on that, man, check out c2crl.com under World Finals. But a week long, man, we're going to have all kinds of racing going on.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, man, and that's to celebrate Veterans Day. All proceeds go to Mission 22, man. So a lot of good stuff going on. It's called the Dirt Alliance between Coast to Coast Racing League and Friday Night Lights, man. So super excited, bro.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
man.
awesome. It sounds like a good week of racing, and woo,
for a good
I'm ready.
cause and a lot of cash. So Have a great weekend. I'll send you a private message, get some payment information from you.
Yes, sir. Thanks everybody again for the racing tonight, man. It was fun. It was awesome.
All right, man. Have a great weekend. Tell Grandma I said hi.
I will for sure. Thank you.
All right, man. Michael Carter, I don't know how long you've been in sprint cars, my friend, but it was long enough. That's all that matters. You brought home the big payday, $125 to the 015 machine, man. You got any words?
Very, very speechless right now. I feel very blessed and lucky. Them things are a handful. I definitely stick to the big cars, you know. But I guess that little bit of practice I did the past few days really helped out a little bit. I wasn't the greatest, but it was enough to get the job done.
Yes, it did, man. You came home first. Did you hear the conversation we were having, or are you watching the broadcast about the next paying event coming up?
Oh, no, I haven't heard about it. I wasn't watching the broadcast.
So while you guys were racing, we actually, probably the viewers are getting tired of hearing it. We are the 21st of October through the 22nd. It's going to be a week long, 360 sprint cars, pro late models, and big block mods. It's going to be called the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, brought to you by Coast to Coast Racing League and Friday Night Lights. $1,500 guaranteed payout. All proceeds go to Mission 22, man. So that is the next big event brought to you by the Dirt Track Bank, man. Those people are coming on board big time. Yeah, it's just great to see. The racing tonight, man, was phenomenal. You looked like you were in a sprint car for much longer than what you're telling me. So, man, congratulations. You got a $125 payday coming your way. I'll send you a private message, and you can tell me how you want me to get that to you. But congratulations, man. You won the first ever Dirt Track Bank Dash for Cash.
That's awesome. Like I said, I'm speechless. And thank you guys. Thank the Dirt Track Bank. Thank everybody for putting this together. It's amazing. It was a fun season. I look forward to continue running with you guys. And that $1,500 deal, that's awesome. Like, I'm wowed about that. So thank you so much. And I guess I'll go ahead and thank the people I need to. Randy Carter Painting, CTO Motorsports, Cal Smith, Travis Anderson, Redline Race Designs, Dirt Track Bank, Gears Unlimited, Friday Night Lights, Joe, your whole crew you got going there, all the drivers, all the fans that were watching. Thank all you. Like, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And since I can't keep a secret, I told everybody I was on the we text and emailed today with Jay Burdick, the president of the Dirt Track Bank. If you think $1,500 is big, and this guy's got some crazy ideas, man, and it is, I got goosebumps right now. I'm absolutely on board. I'm not prepared to release, and it may not have to do with money. This guy has some crazy ideas, man, and he is 100% on board. I wish he could have been here tonight. He is racing the Dirt Track Bank late model out in Kansas City. So, yeah, man, they're on board 100%. Love the relationship. They have been nothing but super to us. So, yeah, man, we got a lot to look forward to, man.
That's awesome. I actually sent him an email earlier, and we sent a few back and forth about him racing tonight in Kansas City or wherever it was, about his late model. And I told him about my street stock driving, and he seems like a really nice guy. It was pretty cool doing that. So really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for sending that email out. That's big, and I appreciate that. And I hope everybody would do that, because I'm telling you, man, these guys are in 100%. So another great night of racing, man. I wish you a great weekend. Hopefully to see you next week when we start it up back again, man.
Absolutely, will do. You have a great weekend yourself. Thank you,
All
guys.
right. Yes, sir. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is the first ever Dirt Track Bank Dash for Cash. What a night it was. Chris, you got any final thoughts?
All I have to say is that was phenomenal racing all night. I mean, pretty much the whole time we put everybody under a blanket. Sorry, my 1-year-old's all excited in the background as well. But
she's looking forward to that World Finals coming up.
Yeah.
Seeing that 51 car up there.
I think I'll have to dip into that one a little bit. Watching this, I mean, for as fun it was announcing, It's almost like going to a real track without a race car. You just want to race now.
Man, I tell you, this is addicting, man, and to see people getting joy out of this, and I was telling, I can't remember who I was telling, it's almost more fun doing things for the guys on the team and the guys in the league than actually getting out there and doing it myself, man. And I've said it 100 times, the Dirt Track Bank is on board 100%, and to have support like that from you guys, the drivers, and a great sponsor, the Gears Unlimited and the Dirt Track Bank, it does not get any better, man. And it's like watching, I have grandkids. It's like watching grandkids. You get joy out of their joy, and that's kind of where I'm
it's
at
like
right now.
some people like driving the car, and some people like building the car and watching it drove.
Yeah. So absolutely amazing. So my brother, thank you for joining me in the booth. Hopefully we see you on the track next week, next Friday night. Until then, man, I wish you a great weekend. Everybody out in the broadcast, thank you for tuning in for the first ever Dash for Cash. I think it was a great hit. Jay Burdick and the folks at Malvern Bank out in Malvern, Iowa. If you have a chance, man, you're out there, stop by. If not, send them an email. I put the email link on our Discord. Send them an email. Tell them thanks for what they do, because they have huge ideas for the iRacing community. So greatly appreciate everyone tuning in. I wish you all a great weekend, and we will see you back here next Friday night at the normal time as we get the fall season underway. Great racing tonight. Thank you all, and we will see you next time.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. You know, we brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
You know, on this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud, because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money, and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it because I didn't want to look internally. I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources, in opportunity right now.